the Denver Pioneers and the Texas Women's Pioneers in a tri-meet, also the home opener for Arkansas. Let's bring you inside. Brett Dolan, Sydney Lemmerher, thanks so much for joining us. This is going to be very unique for Arkansas's fans. 3 teams all competing for the 3rd time this season. But Sydney, as we break down these teams last year, for Arkansas, it was a season of so many successes.
Oh yeah, last year is definitely going to be a season to remember for the Gym Bags. They broke so many records. The first 198 in program history. But not only that, they finally made it back to the NCAA National Championship for the first time since 2018, a team I can remember pretty well.
I know you can, and last year they finished 7th, their best ranking since 2012. Now for Denver, Sydney, this is a team traditionally in the top 10, top 15 of the country.
Yep, Denver finished 10th last year after making the regional final. It came down to the final routine, and sadly they narrowly missed it. But Coach Reinhardt said that this team is different, and it'll definitely be a team effort to get back there this year.
Member of the Big 12 are the Pioneers, and another Pioneers, it's Texas Women's. And Sydney, they had a number of program firsts.
Yes, Texas women broke so many records last year and ultimately finished 2nd at USAG Nationals. They've already broken a few this year with the highest home opener score, so I'm excited to see them continue to build on that today.
There's a lot of conversation with Arkansas about wanting more, and to explain that, let's welcome in the 3rd member of our team. It's Emerson Burris.
Thanks, Brett. Arkansas's last season was historic. This season, they want more. Each letter in the word more represents something that Arkansas wants to build on for this season. And part of that starts with more fans in a bigger arena. For the first time in program history, all 5 at-home meets for Arkansas will take place right here in Bud Walton Arena, which holds over 19,000 fans. And guys, that all starts right now.
All right. Indeed it does. It was 2022 when Arkansas first held a meet inside Bud Walton Arena. And Sydney, I think it just speaks to how this program continues to grow.
Yeah, it's just gotten bigger and bigger. Like she said, the first year where they've had every single meet being hosted here, it's a huge deal. Coach Weber's done a great job at not only growing this program, but helping to continue to grow the sport of gymnastics.
Now, Sydney, today it's a bit of a challenge. Denver is the only team of the 3 that didn't compete on Friday. Arkansas was at Auburn. Texas Women's also competed. So for the Gym Backs competing on Friday, today, and again this upcoming Friday against LSU, that is a lot.
It's a lot, but it is the best way to be able to prepare for the postseason where you're going to have to compete back-to-back meets. And it gives you a good idea of where you are as a team this early on in the season.
All right, for fans that are either watching or maybe here at Bud Walton Arena with their phones out, how do you describe what a tri-meet is going to be like for fans that are so accustomed to seeing 2 teams compete?
There's going to be a lot of action, and it's already started. Beautiful Jaeger by Texas women. Unfortunately, had to stop. Maybe too big. And they're going to have to start with a fall.
Looks like Cammie Weaver ready to go on vault for Arkansas. She added this event.
Beautiful Yurchenko full with the stick. That is what she's been working on so hard. What a way to start the home meet here for Arkansas. And on beam, beautiful lead off, Momoko. Wow, what a lead off routine. She has gone 9.975 in that leadoff spot, so it shows you what she is capable of doing there. That was a pretty nice routine.
Texas women, they're starting on bars. You see the lineups on the right side of your screen. And again, this goes fast, this goes furious.
And unfortunately, a second fall for Laney on bars. She'll have to chalk up and regroup. Hopefully the rest of the lineup will be able to drop this routine, but it's important that she finishes strong, just in case you have to count it.
She had a 9-7 on bars in their first match. Young lady from the Woodlands outside of Houston.
And it looks like she might have touched her knee on that. It is sometimes hard, especially after not only 1 but 2 falls, to really regroup.
It has to be hard to do that on the fly and try and finish strong.
Yes, and considering, like we said, the chaos of today too, the pressure is officially on, and this is going to be the best way to feel the actual postseason vibes.
Frankie Price about ready to go on vault for Arkansas. She had a huge bounce on her landing at Auburn, had a 9.7. What's interesting, Sydney, they have not counted her score each of the first 2 weeks.
No, and she has been nailing this vault in warm-ups and practices. I think it's a little bit mental. Vault can be mental. She hits this how she's able to. They're definitely going to count her score. And you see a 9.9 for Cammie Weaver. What a way to start, like I said. Much better vault by Frankie. Still needs to dial in that stick, but you want to see her go big like that and take the hop backwards versus what she's been doing, which is landing a little short.
And you see the 9.9 from Cammie Weaver, so that was indeed a great start for Arkansas in this tri-meet. While EY had the 9.85 for Denver on the beam.
Very difficult series. Aerial back handspring step out. And Denver struggled on beam early on, but they are very capable of hitting big routines.
Abby Thompson had a 9.8
Wow.
and she competed.
Very unique leap acro combo there. Sometimes it's the full turns that'll get you. I think she covered it up very nicely. Pike gainer, stick.
Great finish.
Very nice routine. Definitely will build on that 9.85. A lot of difficulty in a very unique routine. I like to see different skills. I can appreciate how hard it is to train those.
EY again had the 9.85 after a really strong 9.9 last time out. Looks like Steely King about to go on bars as well for Texas women's, but off
Wow!
of Leah Smith.
If you can remember Leah's vault from regional final, she got a perfect 9.95. That vault was identical to that. Wow, she has really dialed in her gymnastics this year. It's been so nice to see. Curious what the judges will do, but that was beautiful.
She had 5 9.9s or better on the vault last year. We'll see if she gets a 9.9 today as Steely King is off on the bars for Texas women's.
And so far, so good. Small step on that dismount. Nice to see a hit routine after the rough start, but it's going to be important to get Texas women's back on track.
Steely King from Longview, Texas. These teams have all competed against each other in recent years. Arkansas was in Denton last season. They competed against Denver a couple of years ago. Already Arkansas has had 3 go on vault. So again, this comes fast and furious. Just 2 have competed for Texas women on the bars. Cece Cooley about to go on beam for Denver, a young lady that did not compete last year. She started as a walk-on, was injured last season, and set a couple of good numbers so far in the beam as she's back and healthy for her junior season.
Yeah, Big 12 Gymnast of the Week, her first meet back after injury. Super impressive, and Coach Reinhardt pointed her out as being one that's really stuck out this year, especially coming back from that injury.
She gets to compete. She doesn't have to compete.
Yes.
I love that terminology for someone who has an appreciation for competitiveness and competing again after an injury and a missed year. Arkansas's Jalee Lang got to compete at Auburn. She's back in the vault lineup today.
Another very nice Yurchenko full. Just that small hop back. Wasn't the stick that she had on Friday night. Still, she does such a clean Yurchenko full that there's not much else to deduct.
Yeah, indeed. She stuck her landing at Auburn at a 9.825. We'll see what her score may be after a good beginning for Arkansas on vault.
Very
this is
nice.
Cooley on beam again.
Beautiful series to start off. Really nice leap series. She hits that 180. Judges cannot deduct her lines there.
And this Denver team, they are 8th in the country collectively in this event.
just the hop on the dismount, had her hips a little bit too far behind her. That kind of took her backwards. Just needs to absorb that landing, but a very nice routine, especially after a long wait like she had.
You know, they had to count a couple of falls against Michigan in their opening meet, and I know it's tough to have to absorb 2 falls, counting with 3 overall.
Especially on beam at your first meet, but it definitely gives you something to have to work on and work forward to. But she did a very nice job.
Dakota Essen-Price about to compete on vault. Made 9 appearances in this lineup a year ago. Career high 9.875 against Nebraska in that meet in which the Gymbacks went over 198.
You just saw a Pike Jaeger there. She did clip her feet. That will be a deduction, but it's very impressive that she was able to kip out of it. She's showing a lot of fight on this bar routine. Very nice dismount, just the step. But she did not want to give up another fall. They can't afford to count, so very nice effort.
For Cami Zarlingo, competed a lot on bars a season ago. Had a fall though in her first match. At Arkansas, just watched Essen-Price roll. She had a 9.825 at Auburn. Arkansas had 4 scores all the same. We'll see if she's able to better that with that run.
Yeah, and Dakota has improved so much on that vault this year. She's really trying to dial in that landing because last year she would fly out of it, but it's nice to see a much cleaner vault from her. And we have Riley Mundell up on beam. She is just a superwoman in gymnastics and outside of gymnastics.
Well, she
Slide
has to
bobble. It's I don't know how she does all the things she does.
She's interned with NASA. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in physics with minors in mathematics, business ethics, and legal studies, and now she's in a graduate programs, and she's a competitive gymnast.
Very good gymnast. You see there, she did break on one of her leap series. It looks like she might have kind of came up with a new one on the fly, which is very impressive and comes with experience. Just that dismount Pike. Hold on to it. Looks like a little bit of nerve starting off on beam. Definitely different than what you're used to, but another hit routine.
And this is Robertson going on vault for Arkansas.
A little too much juice there. Very nice vault. Very different than what you see the rest of the Arkansas lineup. She has been looking forward to this home meet forever since she was a little girl, so I know this one means a little bit more to her today. Just got to dial in on the energy, but she's a freshman.
Just so powerful
yes.
Sometimes. Coming
little,
off the
little
apparatus.
ball of energy.
All good scores, though, for Arkansas on the vault. See the 9.45 for Zarlingo as well. For Texas women's.
Very nice first handstand.
Bailey Bourgeois competing for Texas women's.
Oh, had to unfortunately fall on that handstand. Sometimes though, when you see mistakes like that, that means the gymnast is going almost too hard, which is what you want to see this early on. You don't want to see them be short and be timid. So I liked the fight, but unfortunately she did fall, so she'll have to finish the routine, and Texas women's will have to count a fall on bars.
Indeed, and Bourgeois coming off a career high in her last match. Meanwhile, Mundell on the bar, Sydney, she's gone 9-9 and 9-9 her first 2 times this season.
Beautiful switch side. And you saw that exhibition by Haley Klein. Just wanted to get her back in the lineup, get some experience. Tried a little bit too hard to stick that landing.
Competed 11 times on vault a year ago in her freshman season. Got the exhibition.
Very nice dismount. Very nice beam routine by Madsen.
Texas women's, the Pioneers. 2 Pioneers there today. They'll have to count for now at least 1 fall on the bars. Their athletic program is in the D2 Lone Star Conference. For gymnastics, they compete in the Midwest Independent Conference with Centenary, Illinois State, and Lindenwood. There's Jordan Weber walking away from us. Year number 6 as the head coach here at Arkansas. Of course, took the Gymbacks to the first NCAA championship in her time frame in program since 2018.
Very unique wolf full turn by Bella. She also has a career high of 9.975 on this event. She is a regional beam champ, so looking forward to this routine.
Bella Mabanta.
Very nice. I love the flow of her routine. She looks very confident up there.
She really finished strong on this event. Her last 4 competitions a season ago. A couple of 9.875s and a 9.75, or 2 scores this year.
Beautiful leaps.
Caroline Bounds is on the
wow.
bar.
Stuck gainer pull off the end. That was a beautiful routine. Teammates calling for a 10, but I wouldn't be mad at it. It was a very nice routine. And she's struggled on beam a little bit this year, so it's nice to see her hit what she's capable of doing.
Looks like Denver will be able to drop the 9.675 on the beam here in their first event of this tri-meet.
Unfortunately, another fall for Texas women's.
So they're going to have to count a couple.
They will have to count a couple. And this was a very nice routine coming up till that fall. Just the dismount. Good way to finish, like I said. They're going to have to count a couple falls, but it's still important. It's not over till it's over in college gymnastics.
They had to compete on Friday. 3 of their 4 events were season highs, all but the bars, and this will be one that will be difficult from the scoring standpoint. This is Ashley Gallen out of Austin, competing in the exhibition for the University of Denver.
Very nice series. She was a little off, but she's very aggressive with her arms, able to keep no wobbles. Way to keep that leap connection moving.
By the way, it was a 9.925 for Bella for Denver. Arkansas will drop the 9.775 from Robertson on the vault.
So far, a very nice exhibition routine. Coach Reinhardt talked about how much depth they have, and clearly you can see it in this routine. Just the dismount, pike gainer, to a stick. Very nicely done. She's super excited. It's always fun to see teammates' reactions to exhibition routines. And they definitely show that they have more depth to work with on beam.
And again, they had to count 2 falls against Michigan in their opening meet. They're 4-0 entering action here today. Compete at a high level in the Big 12, a conference that no longer has Oklahoma.
Very nice opening pike Jaeger. Love the lines on Caitlin.
Caitlin Hoyland.
Another nice handstand.
Boy, last year she had a 9.95 on this event, so a big-time performer.
Just the hop, but that was a very nice routine that was needed after not their best bar lineup.
Rough start for the Pioneers from Texas women's.
Like I said, just that hop forward. but a nice bar routine.
That's the challenge, right? Coming on the road in a tri-meet and starting on the bars, you might just have a rough start, a rough beginning. I believe we have completed rotation number 1. See the highlights as well for Denver. They had the 9.925 from Mabanta on the beam. Arkansas had a 9.9 from Cammie Weaver in the leadoff spot for the vault, and that stood as the best score.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I think Leah Smith might have also should have deserved a 9.9, but Cammie definitely started off that vault rotation on fire. And then, as you mentioned, Mabanta on beam, definitely a highlight, I think, of that first rotation. And it's going to be a very close competition today.
This is like hosting Red Zone.
Yep. Whatever's happening, just go to the action.
Yep. A lot of action. The competition unfolds. And, of course, the vault happens so quickly. You can cycle through several vaulters. Well, these other teams have not only competed on the beam and bars, which take longer, but then a fall kind of disrupts some of the momentum. A Monday matinee on MLK Day here at Bud Walton Arena. So rotation 1 has been completed. Let's check in again with Emerson.
Coach, you took second last year at USAD Nationals. You won the first 2 meets of this season. What momentum does that give you for the rest of the season?
So yes, we were very, very close last year and finished the season very strong. And this year, honestly, coming in, we just knew this team was really special. They have put in so much work this fall. They've been absolutely incredible, and they are one of the most talented, most committed teams that I've ever coached. So I have no doubt that this team is going to have great success this year and come out on top and continue to reach new heights and new goals.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks to Lisa Bowerman, St. Louis native, head coach with Texas Women's. We'll step aside from Bud Walton Arena. 1 rotation in the books. We'll crank it up with rotation number 2 when you come back.
Last season was incredible.
Arkansas is heading to the national semifinals in front of their home fans inside Bud Walton Arena.
Obviously, making it to nationals was a pretty big deal for the program.
It was a reminder that we can do anything we put our minds to.
This year, we're looking to push for more.
Our team is really focused on this theme of more this year.
We just want more details.
Give more in the gym. We know we are capable of more.
We want to win more. We're relentless, we're determined.
Kind of just symbolizes that we did go to nationals and we did accomplish our goal last year, but we weren't done yet.
We took time and broke down like what we wanted each letter of more to represent and what we wanted it to mean.
M stands for make everything matter more.
O is the obsessed over the process. R is relentless in the pursuit of excellence.
E stands for energy created by us. And there's a period at the end that says make a statement. With all that put together, we're expecting excellence.
Let's take a look at our highlights from the first rotation. Sydney, a couple of great efforts on the vault for Arkansas.
Yeah, what a way to start off by Cammie Weaver with that 9.9. She's really learning to dial in. And then this follow-up 9.875 by Leah Smith. An unfortunate bar rotation, though, by Texas Women's, having to count 2 routines with falls. Not their best start. They're going to want to continue on there. And then the beautiful beam routines of Momoko and Bella. Like I said, I could have gone 10 for this routine. So they definitely a hot start starting on beam away is very impressive.
Yeah, Mabanta with a 9.925. Cammie Weaver's 9.9, not that far off a 9.925 career high. And we're about ready for rotation number 2. I know we heard about more in the last feature. I think the one thing, Sydney, we haven't addressed yet, one of those interviewed was Lauren Williams, who had elbow surgery this week, so she is done competing for the remainder of this year, which is a bit of a blow for the gym backs.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, an elbow injury. Arkansas could really use her on vault and floor always, but like we said, with more comes more depth, more people being able to step in. And so the gym backs are wanting to prove people wrong that they're just one team, that they have the depth and they have the people to fill in those spots.
The super freshman, Jocelyn Robertson, about to go on bars for Arkansas. Meanwhile, Denver has moved to the floor. Mila Brush ready to compete. She's had a couple of 9.85s this year, and off and rolling is Robertson for the gym backs.
Beautiful first handstand. I'd like to see Jocelyn get her legs together a little bit tighter on her release moves. Beautiful last handstand. Just that dismount. With the hop, that is one thing that Coach Weaver mentioned is they had some great bar routines on Friday, but they really want to dial in on those landings. So they're going to look to have the rest of the lineup hopefully have some sticks here.
Arkansas did not count Jocelyn's effort on the bars at Auburn. Bailey Upton is on the beam as well for Texas Women's.
Very nice full turn.
She competed in beam in their first match, did not do so back on Friday, however.
Very beautiful series. I love seeing her smirk and smile up there. She looks super confident. That's what you want to have in the leadoff on beam. Great lead series. Wow, very difficult aerial to 2 feet. This is a great routine she's putting together here. Front full with the hop. She's excited as she should be. That was a beautiful first routine. Wow, I love the confidence that she competed with. That was fun to watch.
Beam was the lowest score for Texas Women's back on Friday, but it was also a season high, and they're off to a really good start as Caitlin Ewald is performing as well.
Wow.
For the Razorbacks.
Fingertips on that pack salto. That was huge. Able to keep it moving. Not a deduction.
And this is really Caitlin's specialty, her forte of bars, the Illinois transfer.
Wow. Just that hop. She just learned that dismount coming to Arkansas. You would never be able to tell. Very impressive. Great routine for Katie.
She their top Arkansas score on the bars Friday night. Take a look at her dismount again.
I love her body throughout. Stays so straight and tight. Just needs to absorb that landing. And I've seen her do it before, so great routine.
Again, this is Mila Brush from Cincinnati, Ohio, coming off a pair of 9.85s on the floor in the first 2 meets.
Nice double pike, kept it inbounds. Had a little bit too much juice there.
Little pause in the other events as the floor music kind of dominates just a bit for Brush.
Very clean leap series there.
Sophie Hernandez up on the beam, another North Carolina native.
Slight little bobble. You can tell she kind of got ahead of herself. Sometimes the easiest skills, it's easy to overlook. To focus on this series. Very nicely done.
She said 2 scores identical on the beam this year, 9.6, 7.5. You know she'd like to elevate that effort here this afternoon.
So far, so good for Callie Swaney on bars. A little bit of form deductions. Very nice last handstand. Just a dismount. Slightest little foot movement. I want to give it the stick, but I think she might have moved that left foot.
She did not compete against Auburn in that event. And again, with this Monday, Friday combination, you might see a few twists and turns in the lineups and whatnot. But so far, Texas women's happy with their beginning to the beam. And let's take a look at Swady's dismount and landing.
Her lace, yep, that left foot definitely moved, so that will be a 10th. But very nice routine. Just needs to clean up her form a little bit. But like you said, she didn't compete on Friday, getting the experience in and out of lineup. And it's a new routine for her this year, so that'll just come as the season goes on.
Steely King about to compete for Texas women's. Her 5th year. Some last-minute conversation with her head coach Lisa Bowerman, who took over back in the summer of 2011. Well, she's got her ready to roll. This is one of the rare lulls you have in a tri-meet,
yes,
where nothing's going on compared to multiple gymnasts competing at the same time. And for Denver, it's Cece Cooley who's competing on the floor. And I know this is Chiefs country. All the songs that she will employ on floor belong to Taylor Swift.
Yes.
So that should endear her to the Chiefs fans in the building.
Nice first pass. She did stumble a little bit. Beautiful leap, though. Come on. Nice fight on beam.
Boy, Steely had to fight to stay on the beam.
Next pass for CC. Round up 1.5. Front layout. Very nicely done. Huge release move for Priscilla on bars. She struggled with that in warm-up, so it's nice to see her get over that.
Priscilla Park on the bars for Arkansas.
Wow.
She stuck her landing at Auburn, had a 9.8.
Just a little hot, but that was a beautiful routine. Her handstands were on top of the bar. Form was really great throughout. They really need to start focusing on dialing in those landings, however. I think that's some of their biggest deductions that they're going to be seeing on bars today.
Especially in a year where scoring has come into the conversation with tightening up some of the scores. Those little hops and little...
Yes, those add up.
Indeed.
But a very nice routine for Priscilla.
Swaney had the 9.825, so right now they'd like to drop that 9.75 with more to come. Rotation number 2. Caroline Bounds competing.
Very unique mount. Switch leap onto the beam. It's very difficult, and you need a lot of quad strength to be able to do it.
And she's coming off a career high just Friday on the beam at 9.8. Had a couple of event titles as well for Texas women.
Unfortunate fall there. Looks like she just rushed it a little bit, brought her arms up a little too quick. That caused her to come off of the beam. Just needs to breathe and regroup. Looks like she's breathing pretty well up there. Beautiful pike Jaeger from Maddie Jones. Very nice handstand.
Arkansas had to count her 9.725 at Auburn.
See if she can dial in this dismount.
Arkansas had to count a sub 49 score in that meet Friday.
Wow.
Good dismount.
2 sticks at the same time on 2 different events.
How about that? That's the fun of a tri-meet.
Great rebound for Caroline after that fall, but Maddie Jones, wow. She just has the prettiest toe point ever. Like I said there, you could see her fall. She brought her arms up a little too quick, which unfortunate after a career high on Friday. Sometimes the pressure like that can get to you, but great rest of her routine.
Kylie Rorick out of Charlotte, North Carolina, did an exhibition on the bars last week, but she's getting an opportunity to perform on the floor here at Bud Walton.
Very nice first pass, front through to double tuck. And I love her floor music. Heard it on warm up, was obsessed with it. Some throwback music here.
She truly has the floor to herself as we have a pause in the other 2 events.
Nice sleeves. Want to see control a little bit more. She slid her front foot and the landing. Double pike, nicely done. Danced right out of it. Was able to cover up maybe a little bit of a foot slide. What a fun routine. That was great.
I haven't heard a whistle yet. Every Denver floor routine is supposed to have a whistle where the fans chant, "Let's go Denver, let's go DU." But of course, on the road today, maybe a little different feel.
Yeah, it might be a little bit harder to get the fans at an away meet to do that.
Someone has to
Yes.
have a whistle somewhere in this building. Emma Berklich competing for Texas Women's on the beam.
Wow. That was a huge Jaeger for Maddie Walagora over on bars. Very nice last handstand.
Walagora making her Bud Walton debut after 5 years at Alabama.
Can't see him, but Coach Chris Brooks is really revved up over that one. That was the best bar routine I've seen her do this season.
Does she get a certain height on her release that's maybe a little bit different than some of the others?
She taps into that release move just at the perfect timing where it is huge. She can see the bar the whole entire time. It's very impressive.
She's had a couple of 9.8s. I bet she hopes she betters that here today.
So far, a very clean routine for Emma on beam.
And of course, Berklich, she has to compete on the beam while the home fans react to a good bars performance, which must be a little bit disconcerting.
But it's good prep, like I said, for the postseason. Just dismount, wow. Stuck dismount, that was a beautiful beam routine. I've said it a few gymnasts ago, but I love the confidence that Texas Women's is competing with on beam, especially in this environment. But look at that Jaeger by Maddie Walagora on bars. And the stick. Thought about moving her feet for a second, but I'm glad that she absorbed it there.
Last year at Alabama, on the bar, she had a 9.85 or better 7 times. Waiting to see her score come through. It's the one Arkansas is missing. Well, we go back to floor. Madison Ulrich competing. Or is this Mundell?
This is Riley.
It is indeed Riley Mundell.
Very nice with the wow after the first pass.
Let's check in with Emerson.
Graduate senior Riley Mundell is key to this Denver team, contributing high scores of a 9.975 on bars and beam, but she's also just as impressive off the mat. Riley earned her bachelor's degree in physics with minors in mathematics, sociology, and business ethics and legal studies. She's now getting her graduate certificate in geographic information systems. And to add to that, she also interned for NASA in their student airborne research program the summer before her senior year.
And I think she had a class in South Korea last July as well. So I'm not sure how she gets it all done, but kudos to her.
And she's an All-American on every
Of
event,
course.
so that's even more impressive to be able to do that. Last pass, double tag, very nicely done, so clean.
She had a 9.675 in her last meet. Like to get back to that 9.85 range she had in meet number 1. A wobble but no fall for Texas women's.
Very nice save by Caitlin. Was able to keep that connection going.
All 3 times this year she's competed on the beam. A really tremendous bars performer is Caitlin Hoyland.
She just needs to breathe a little bit, absorb those landings. She's almost looks like she's thinking a little bit ahead of herself. Still a very nice routine so far. Beautiful jump series there. Hit that 180. Just the dismount, get her full with a hop, but another hit routine. They'll be able to drop the fall earlier on in the lineup. What a bounce back effort on beam by Texas women's after the first rotation.
Just waiting on that score from Caitlin. They'll drop that 9.15 from bounds. Arkansas, strong, consistent scores in their bars routine as they go above 49. Exhibition as well, though, for Arkansas coming up. Well, Denver has to continue on the floor after Mundell just competed. A couple of 9.8s for the Pioneers with Cooley and Rorick. Coach Bowerman, some last minute words of encouragement. Madison Ulrich about to compete as well for the Denver Pioneers. Having a tri-meet with 2 Pioneers adds to a little bit of the confusion. Ulrich, though, the #1 returner on the floor, last year's Big 12 Newcomer of the Year for the South Carolina native. They tell the fans beforehand, when in doubt, enjoying a tri-meet, clap and dance. And I think those kids were employing both.
Yes,
for a
doing
split
both at
second.
the same time.
So Madison ready to go on the floor for Denver. It is a Denver program that has been so strong. They've had, maybe as Coach told us, Melissa Kutchar-Reinhardt, they've had a few uncharacteristic Denver mistakes, but she embraces those, Sydney. She wants them to be able to make mistakes. It's how you learn, it's how you grow.
Yeah, like we said earlier, it's a team effort. So when those mistakes are made, it's on the teammates to step up and see who's next in line to help their teammates out. And this team has done a great job of that so far. Very impressive first pass. Open double tug, did not use her arms. Could have done a double layout. And Coach Reinhardt calls Maddie a superstar in her own right, only a sophomore.
Yeah, that's a great term, great word when your coach says superstar in reference to your name.
Very nice, 1.5 front layout by Maddie.
So Denver wrapping up rotation 2. Madison Ulrich finishing out maybe her last pass.
Double pike, very nicely done. Super solid landing. It's so nice to see 3 passes. It has become a common trend this year in college gymnastics. We'll see some today of only 2 passes, but seeing her hit a 3-pass routine is very impressive this early on in the season. I really think she could do a double A in that first pass. And then that double pike just stuck beautifully.
Does it put more pressure on a performer to try and do the 3 passes, or do you space out some of your efforts?
It depends on the gymnast. I know some gymnasts just have a lot of different skills in their repertoire, so they're able to kind of play around with their routine. Others, it has to do with injury or, maybe they were getting constant deductions on a pass, but if you can eliminate that and get the highest score possible for your team, that's what the gymnast and coach will decide to do. So we're kind of seeing the 2 pass becoming a more popular trend this year.
Understood.
But 3 passes is very impressive. The endurance, the ability to
It has to be.
do dance and hit 3 passes at the same time. So I applaud any of the girls that are continuing to do the 3-pass routine.
Madison Reidenbach out of Wisconsin waiting to compete. You see the ranks, certainly bars and vault top 10 for these Denver Pioneers. I don't believe Reidenbach has competed on the floor in each of the first 2 meets for Denver, but going in the anchor spot today and still waiting on that score as well from Madison Ulrich.
And going to your point, Coach Reinhardt did say that she wants them to have the freedom to compete with confidence, and they have a lot of people ready to step into lineups. Madison has scored a 9-9 on this event before, so she's clearly capable of putting up a big routine.
And again, she's got the floor to herself as everyone else has finished out rotation 2.
Round off whip half to Rudy. You don't see those a lot. It's a very unique pass. There's the whistles.
There's the whistle.
There's the whistles.
The home fans don't know they need to chant, "Let's go Denver, let's go DU."
Switch half, wolf full. I'd like to see her hit those splits a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Nice double tuck. A very good hit routine for Denver.
Looks like they'll be able to drop that 9-7, 2-5, strong scores of 9-8 or better in the floor event.
That first pass, that whip after Rudy, super unique. She does it very well. The timing on that can be a little tricky. And here's that last pass, that double tuck. Just a little low, but she was able to kind of dance out of it. Very nice job by Madison.
Arkansas 49 plus in both of their 2 events with the vault and the bars. Denver probably happy with that floor performance as well, going 49 plus. Just like that, 2 rotations complete here in this Monday matinee and this tri-meet in the home opener. Also have some exhibitions throughout the course of this afternoon that we're mixing in. Pioneers, Denver, with an exhibition on the floor upcoming. Amanda Hargraves, Washington native, a sophomore. Has competed once this year on the vault, about to get the exhibition on the floor. One of the benefits of these extended meets is to get some opportunities for those to compete. And while the scores don't count, Sydney, it certainly feels like every bit of the juice that you get when you're in the lineup.
Yeah, it's still the same pressure, same judges, everything. Like you said, you might think that there might be less pressure because you're in exhibition, but truly almost more pressure because you want to prove that you can make those lineups and you want to prove that there is depth on that event. And again, these are super helpful for the coaches to understand what they have going into postseason, when they need to rest people, what can go in and still be competitive.
And that's what Coach Reinhardt, who we'll hear from in just a moment, told us about their analytics. I mean, they track numbers on the balance beam and stuck landings and hit ratio, but coaching is an art and a science. Who's performing well, who's hitting on all cylinders, to kind of provide some feedback going forward on who will be in these lineups when they get towards Big 12 competition.
That first pass, front layout to Rudy. Small little landing error there. Almost twisted too early into the ground. Nothing major though.
There's the whistle.
Yep, more whistles for you. Gearing up for that final pass.
She knew exactly where our camera was located as well on the floor.
Round up 1.5 front layout. Nicely done. Good routine. They'll definitely be able to use that down later in the season. Little things here and there to clean up, but still a hit routine. Like he said, found that camera. I love it.
It's not hard to find a camera.
No.
This age range is pretty good at that.
Yes.
Having a couple of kids that fall within that 18 to 23
yes, for sure.
range. See the scores through 2 rotations. Arkansas again 49 plus in both of their first 2, and Pioneers from Denver right behind. Couple of top 20 ranked teams here between Arkansas and Denver. Third member of our team, Emerson Burris, is standing by with the head coach from the Pioneers, Melissa Kutchar-Reinhardt. Emerson, take it away.
Coach, the word this season is adventure. Where are you seeing this adventure beginning, and where do you want it to end?
You know, we're not at full strength right now, but part of the adventure for me is everyone stepping in to play a part, right? People who might not normally be in the lineups, getting in there and taking advantage of their opportunity.
You told us earlier this week your team tends to put too much pressure on themselves before meets. What was the message in the locker room before this meet?
Trust your training. We're really prepared. The meets are to have fun and do what you love and enjoy.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Yeah, it's always interesting with an adventure. You don't know what's next. You just want to pack your bags and go. And they got a trip to Fayetteville today to see ice cream nachos, hog hats, and hog calls. How can you beat that? That's an adventure to say the least. I would say Jordan Weber had quite a gymnastics offseason. She competes on Special Forces, the reality show seen on Fox. She had to go to Wales to do this, Sydney.
I commend her for doing it. I watched the episode so far, and it is so intense. You think as a former gymnast that you'd be able to do it. She makes it look pretty easy. All the people on there, I'm impressed that they even attempted to do it.
She said she's not a water creature, which has limited her ability to compete on this. I did ask her which Arkansas head coach would be most likely to do this and which one wouldn't. She wouldn't admit who wouldn't be good at this. She did throw Colby Hale. I threw Brad McMakin out as Arkansas head coaches that could go forward. But what a year. She took a team to nationals. She competed in a reality show. She's with child.
Yep.
I'm not sure what's left for a 12-month
Yeah,
period.
I don't really know where you go from there. I mean, competing in that Special Forces in general, like I said, it's just insanity in itself on top of being a head coach. And like you said, now she's about to be a mom. I don't know what she can do, honestly.
Cam Newton was in that event as well, some other athletes, but Jordan Weber stepping out of her comfort zone, to say the least, and she said that was good for her athletes to see their head coach do something she really wasn't comfortable with, and let's face it, who would be competing in the Special Forces? But her team is off to a good beginning in the home opener. We're going to step aside and come back with rotation number 3, this unique tri-meet from Bud Walton Arena, right after this. Let's take a look at our second rotation highlights for Arkansas. Is Maddie Jones on the bars.
Very impressive. One of the few in the lineup to stick that dismount. She was really dialed in on that bar routine. And then this beam routine by Emma.
Berklich.
Very nicely done. And then the great Riley Mundell. Another solid performance by her. Beautiful double tag, and she knew it too. She was super excited about that.
9.85 for Riley Mundell on the floor. So here's your meet summary through 2 rotations. Arkansas with the lead. Cammie Weaver had that 9.9 on the vault, and keep in mind, that was the very first performance of this tri-meet.
Yeah, she could not have set up her team better, and I think they've really carried that momentum on through the first two events. But like you said, it's a close meet, and it's just going to get closer with Denver and Arkansas going to two of their best events here in the second half of the meet.
I mean, gymnastics is different than other events. Denver doesn't jump up in a Power 4 program, but when it comes to this sport, they have been very much a force, just missing again last year on a chance to get to the national championships.
Yeah, they are a great program. They've continued to be a great program, but I think they're always kind of the underappreciated, overlooked program. They've had some really solid gymnasts the past few years, but this team altogether it's going to be one tough to beat this year.
Callista Gamillao leading off as well for Arkansas, the senior, just known as being so steady. Last year when she competed against Texas Women's in Denton, she had a 9.9 on the beam. So we'll see what she can do here this afternoon.
Wow, a very nice Yurchenko full from Mila on vault.
Mila Brush on the vault as well. And boy, she's at a 9.8, a 9.85, so she's put up some big numbers.
Great save by Callista on the beam. She was a little off. You wouldn't be able to notice if you're just not a typical gymnastics fan.
Okay.
She was able to save it kind of mid-air. But she has such great control on this event. Such a solid lead off. Very nice leaps. Trinity has a really fun floor routine going on.
Caffey had 3 years at Lindenwood, now competing for Texas Women's within the same conference.
Just the dish not here for Callista. Wow! Finally gets the 6. She had been taking small little hops the past couple meets. But another very solid lead-off performance by Callista. Honestly, I've come to expect nothing less than her in that lineup.
That's why she competed last year as the beam leadoff, made 12 appearances as well on the floor, so that's part of her repertoire. And again, the vault goes for Amanda Hargraves and Denver after that 9.9 from Mila.
Another very impressive Yurchenko full. It looks like her right foot landed a little bit on the line. They might take a deduction for that. But wow, that dismount by Callista on beam, super impressive. Great to see her finally dial that one in.
Maddie Jones next up. .982.5 on the beam at Auburn on Friday. Maddie Jones had a sprained ankle not that long ago, maybe kind of limiting a little bit of what you can do when it comes to practice or training. But hey, when you're a veteran, you tape it up like a football player and you're ready to keep on rolling.
Yeah, and this is her senior year. You know, she was a little disappointed when she sprained her ankle in the preseason, but she definitely had time to recover, and she's done great so far this season.
Let's check in with Emerson with more on Maddie.
Senior Maddie Jones has truly made her mark on this Arkansas program. She came in as a walk-on her freshman year, earned a scholarship with hard work and dedication, and has continued to build on that throughout her time at Arkansas. As a senior, she stepped into a leadership role on this team, but she's also a leader at this university. Maddie serves as the president of SAAC, or Student Athlete Advisory Committee, where throughout her time she's attended the SEC Summer Leadership Council meeting. She spent 5 days in the Bahamas giving back to the community, and she's attended the Women Leaders in Sports National Convention. She also happens to be back-to-back SEC Community Service Team honoree.
Yeah, that's a lot, and her dad's a former Navy SEAL, correct?
Yes. Maddie is super impressive. She had a little bobble early on in this routine, had to restart her series, but didn't let it phase her. She is just a gamer. She loves to compete. It's been so fun watching her grow in her career and add a new event every year. with the stuck dismount.
Indeed.
You can tell she's a little disappointed by that. She is a perfectionist, as most gymnasts are, but it's still a hit routine nonetheless.
This is Madison Reidenbach. Both times this year she's competed on the vault. A little bit of a stumble there at the end.
Yurchenko 1.5, a more difficult vault than we've seen so far in their lineup. She looked like she was maybe a little bit bent arms on the table, so she didn't get as much of rotation as she wanted to. Very clean vault, however, still should score pretty decent.
Good beginning for Denver. The 9-9 followed by a pair of 9-8s before we wait for the score from Reidenbach. Meanwhile, Steely King starts to perform on the floor for Texas Women's.
Double pike. Slides that front foot. Will be a deduction, but a nice first pass.
For Steely last year against Arkansas in that quad in Denton, she had a 9.875 on the floor, which was a career best.
1.5 front layout, nicely done. And there's your favorite mount, Brett. The back handspring onto the beam.
I'm not prepared for that when she jumps aboard. We all remember what she did on the beam last year against LSU, where she went for the 9.975, which matched the program record, was the highest score on the event for a freshman in several years.
And I love the intensity she competes with on beam. Very nicely done. Last year she did a triple series, decided to take that third skill out to be a little bit cleaner and more consistent. So far it's working for her.
Denver going through their vaults quickly. Riley Mundell just performed, the Colorado native. As Park wraps up her effort on the beam.
And that is a super difficult leap series, switch leap, switch leap. Takes a lot of strength to be able to do it. She actually reminds me of a young Kyle Ross competing on the beam.
That's high praise.
It's a high praise. When she's on, she has a killer beam routine. Just the dismount. Very nicely done. I love the height that she got. Getting out of an aerial, doing anything off of an aerial is very difficult.
A little bit frustrated she didn't completely stick that landing.
But honestly, that was one of the few deductions I saw.
This is Rosie Casali competing on the vault. Did compete in the first, did so in the second meet.
She was a little high on. I'm very impressed she actually made the full 1.5 all the way around. She didn't get quite the block that she wanted to get. She did nail it last week.
One of the many North Carolina natives we've seen compete here today. So Denver has run through the vaults, and they had to take that 9.525 that they will drop from Mundell, but otherwise very consistent scores for Denver as we wait for Cammie Weaver to go up on the beam for the Razorbacks. She was a veteran on the beam last year, every lineup for Arkansas through the season, and was 9.85 or better 6 times last season, including that 9.925 at the SEC Championships, sitting which tied the program beam record.
Yeah, Cammie is a beam queen, and when she hits her routines, there's not much to take. Very nicely done. She's been really trying to work her confidence on this event. Side aerial, slight wobble, but dance out of it. Really nice cover up there. Wow. So front through to double pike on the floor. That is a difficult combination right there.
Sophie Hernandez finishing up on the floor. Last year she had a 9.95, which was a floor program record for the Pioneers.
Just that dismount for Cammie. Wow.
I think she's happy with that one.
That was one of the, I just got chills. That was one of the best beam routines I've seen her do in a while. She's been really trying to get back to that point. That was very impressive.
Arkansas will try to drop that 9-7 on the beam if possible, while Sophie Hernandez continues on the floor for Texas women's.
Very nice round up, 1.5 front layout, dances right out of it. Very clean routine.
Been kind of a slow start through 2 meets so far this year. Certainly trying to better that. Looks like she might be on her way.
Very nice routine by Sophie.
Back and take a look at Cammie Weaver.
Beautiful form. I love how she just dances right out of it. And then the best part, that stick. She's been working so hard to get back to that point, like I said. So it's nice. And you could see on her face, she was relieved to finally hit that.
That's a 9.85 coming in for Cammie Weaver. Callie Sweeney up next. She had a fall in that first meet of the year on the beam in Oklahoma City and really had a tremendous bounce back last week.
Yeah, she is a gorgeous beam worker. She just needs to, as we said, work on her confidence. But it's still early in the season, so that'll come as we go along.
Such a long stretch with these 3 meets coming in 7 days for the gym backs.
Good save right there. She rushed into that third skill just a little bit, made it a little short, but didn't make it too big of a mistake. Will be a deduction, but saved from a potential fall. Very nice jumps.
Does that calm you down, or does that get you riled up a bit when you have to hold on to?
Well, since there hasn't been a fall already in the lineup, I would think it doesn't rile it up too much, and knowing that you have a very solid anchor after you, but just all depends on the moment, I suppose. Just that step. Another hit routine, not her cleanest. Definitely going to be room for improvement there, but another very nice routine by Callie. Look again at the cartwheel, gainer full. Very nice form throughout. She just needs to absorb a little bit. Obviously had to take that step. You could tell she wasn't too happy, but again, a hit routine.
Sydney, it's amazing. You think about the beam. I mean, problems can crop up. Yet for Arkansas last Friday, that was their #1 event from a scoring standpoint, more so than even floor.
Yeah, and Coach Weaver said that too, that is actually one of their strongest events and the most depth on. So it was a little disappointing to see in that first meet, but the bounce back obviously was great to see, and she has high expectations for that event.
This is Bailey Upton performing on the floor for Texas Women's. It was last week, just Friday, where she came off a 9.85, which was a career high in this exercise.
Very nice first pass, punch Rudy. And I love her facial. She did it on beam as well, but she really expresses herself with her face in her dance moves.
Real good score from Sophie Hernandez. Upton trying to equal or better that for Texas Women's.
Double pike, very nice save. Looks like she just didn't quite have her legs under her, but kept it on her feet.
Jocelyn Robertson ready to go as well. And this is her event on the beam, Sydney. Remember, she trained with Simone Biles in Spring, Texas, outside of Houston. This talented freshman, she does it all, but this is really hers.
Yes, this is an event that I've loved watching Jocelyn on. Even when she was younger, she used to have viral videos of her doing standing pulls on the beam when she was like 8 years old. It's super impressive. So it's been fun to watch her grow. So far, so good.
She had the 9.925 at Auburn. That was the best score of that entire meet.
Yeah, and I love her confidence up there. She really dances in and out of it. I think that elite experience definitely helps with that. I would like to see her absorb maybe just a little bit, but again, nerves being revved up.
And again, that term we keep coming back to with Jocelyn is just the power, the powerful performance.
Very nice aerial back layout step out. Stuck, no movement there. And she calls the hogs. I love that this has become a thing on beam, having someone call the hogs. Just the dismount front full. If she can stick.
What do you think?
Smallest little hop. I want to give it to her, but that was a great routine.
You can tell our teammates are fired up.
From here, it looked like she hopped. Maybe it was a foot movement. If she stuck it, I would go 10.
Well, you're about 5 feet from her, so you get a pretty good look.
I'm a little short, so I can't necessarily see over this table that I'm sitting at. But that was very impressive. Again, aerial layout, perfectly done. Here's that dismount. Let's see if I was wrong. Front full. Oh, that could be a stick. I think they could count that as a stick.
You're counting that as a stick, all right.
They want the 10. If we get a 10 here.
You gymnastics people, you change your rules on me every so often in the conversation.
She slid her heels together in place. I think from the judge's angle, it could have maybe looked like a hop. I would love for her to get the 10. 9-9. They'll take it.
Sophia Isbell, Massachusetts native, also coming off a career high in the floor just a couple of days ago with a 9.825. Obviously, they'd like to drop that 9.6 from Bailey Upton, who just performed on the floor. 9.9 the score for Robertson.
So the judges agreed with me.
I trusted your first instinct, Sid.
You never know. Katie has a super unique beam routine. Some skills that you don't typically see, so I'm excited to see her get her chance.
Caitlin Ewald, the fifth-year performer, the Illinois transfer.
One arm back handstring, back handstring. Definitely different, very difficult.
And Sydney, she's been training in the all-around, so she's trying to add events as we go forward.
Yes, which in your fifth year is just very impressive. She has such a great work ethic. Essentially, back layout, step out, nicely done. So far, so good. Sophia gearing up for that next pass. Round off 1.5, front layout. A little soft going into the punch. Wow, very impressive leap jump series from Katie. And gearing up for a unique dismount. She does a front gainer Rudy off of 1 foot with the stick. Wow, that is a routine that they could definitely plug right into the lineup. What a great first beam routine as a gym back.
I was thinking the same thing. You don't have to project much to feel like
that would fit right in.
Go nicely with the other scores. Arkansas has been 49 plus in all 3 events with their forte, the floor upcoming. One more for the home gym backs to get to finish on that event. A couple more floors remaining for Texas women's. We're waiting for the score from Isbell, but we'll get to see Bailey Bourgeois, who I don't believe has competed yet on the floor this season. Louisiana native. Texas women's had a 194 against Centenary in their first meet, a 194.875, where they had season highs in 3 events, all but bars. Denver will finish a little bit shy of the 49 on the vault. Such a great start for the Pioneers on that fault, Sydney, before they finished with the 9.525 and the 9.675.
Yeah, Riley Mundell had an uncharacteristic vault, took a few steps back out of her 1.5. I know the viewers weren't able to see it. It was definitely not the Riley that they're used to. And sometimes it was almost like she tried to dial it in. She was struggling a little bit with it in warm-ups, tries to fix it in the meet, and sometimes that doesn't work out. But again, it's still early. But luckily they are able to drop that 9.525, but like you said, still had to count the 9.675.
And Denver, much like Arkansas, they competed a few times already this season, so you're starting to enter that stretch where practice becomes a little more difficult because you're performing.
Yes. Very nice first pass from Bailey. Very clean. She had that hop back. A little bit too much energy. Gearing up for that next pass. 1.5 front lay, nicely done. Little bit of direction to the left. Judges could take if you're not directly in the corner. Final pass. Very nice double tuck. That was a great routine from Bailey.
She's happy with that one.
Yeah, very solid floor lineup for Texas women's today.
Ready to drop that 9.6 from Bailey Upton. We've heard from two of the head coaches so far, so let's check in with Jordan Weber and Emerson Burris.
Coach, being in Bud Walton this season goes to show the momentum Arkansas has to get back to the national championship. How do you see your team continuing to build on that throughout the season?
Well, first of all, it feels so good to be back in our home arena and even better in Bud Walton Arena for the whole season. Really our mission right now, this is our third meet, is just to get better every meet. And we just competed on Friday at Auburn. The goal today was to be a little bit better than we were on Friday, and our team's doing that, so I'm pleased.
Final event floor is coming up. Frankie Price's floor music is all about Snoop Dogg. In your first meet in Oklahoma City, Snoop Dogg reposted her routine on his Instagram story. How fun is it to have such a big public figure backing Arkansas gymnastics?
It's so fun. I mean, Frankie is such a wonderful performer, and it just keeps getting better every year. We're so proud of her, and I'm excited to see what she does today on floor.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, I like that. First of all, Snoop is everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's the Olympics, it's college football on the sidelines. But to Jordan's point, it does feel like Arkansas has taken this a little bit better in a lot of the events that she wanted from Friday with that very quick turnaround.
Oh, for sure. They've definitely shown some improvements, and there's still more room to improve. But I definitely think this team is serious about that more motto that they're talking about, and they definitely are doing more today.
I think it applies to all aspects in life. You want more out, you got to put more in.
Yep.
And she said last year that 198 against Nebraska, it wasn't magic. It was a lot of the little things that add up in a gymnastics meet. This is an exhibition from Cami Zarlingo. She's from the Denver area. And by the way, the Pioneers brought their weather to Northwest Arkansas. They can take it back with them, but this is Cami on an exhibition.
Very nice leaps. She's really getting into this routine. Some fun hip-hop elements in there. They're really finding the camera today.
They're well versed in exactly where those cameras are located.
Enough 1.5 front layout. Want to see that a little bit tighter in the air, some leg separation. Having some fun with our student section.
It's so tough to engage those opposing students, but you got to give it a try.
What a fun routine, and when that gets plugged into the lineup, definitely a home favorite, but I think it'll be a fan favorite.
Tell you what, these floor performers, they understand that word, performance. 3 rotations complete in this tri-meet here at Bud Walton. The Arkansas Floor Party coming up next, always a favorite here at Bud Walton Arena.
All right, let's bring energy today. Gym backs. What do we want? A baby! A baby!
Wow, that was some serious baby excitement when Jordan Weber announced to her team that she was pregnant. So no, she was not pregnant, but she was on Special Forces. She is now, and I would say the team was very enthused.
Oh yeah, they were super excited because we were talking about it earlier. It's almost like your big sister or mom away from home. So you're welcoming another person into your family. So the girls are so excited to all be big sisters and aunties to the baby.
You know, I'm going to start a thought that I will not finish, but the number of people within this athletic department and coaches that are now having babies, even my analysts at the various sports.
Oh, I was like, do not put that on me, Brian.
I didn't finish
That
my
is
thought.
not
I'm
me.
just saying, I've had a lot of analysts in recent years that now have babies.
So what are you alluding to there?
Floor party coming up. Arkansas's had a really good beginning to this meet. They love the floor, so do the fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to Bud Walton. Here's our third rotation highlights. It started for Denver on the ball with Mila Brush. What an outstanding performance, a 9-9.
A very beautiful Yurchenko full. Flared it out, got the stick. Very similar to how Arkansas started off on floor. And then Jocelyn Robertson on beam, a beam queen. I still want to give this a stick. It went 9-9. I'll give it the stick.
Yeah,
now
she
watch
has
that
to
again.
be.
That looked like a stick.
Happy with the 9-9. And Sofia Hernandez with a 9.825 on the floor for Texas women.
Very beautiful routine. Definitely a highlight for Texas women. Not only on floor, but I think for this entire meet so far.
So your meet summary, Arkansas extending that lead. Robertson's 9-9 on the beam. The big score in that third rotation. But, you know, Arkansas, Sydney, I know sometimes you don't always worry about wins and losses, even though last year Arkansas did have 15 wins, and they were above 500 in league play. The 15 wins, the most since 2012. The 4-2-1 SEC record, the most conference victories since 2016. That Auburn meet was a winnable one that Arkansas came up a little bit short in Friday night.
It definitely was. It wasn't a meet that they should be mad about, but there are definitely things, like I said, to improve on. I think personally the judging was a little bit tight, but we're seeing that across the country this year. So it'll be interesting what the tight judging this year does to the standings across the nation.
I think in some senses, and maybe I've had to do this too, you recalibrate, you look at scores, and maybe you're down a little bit in some of your various exercises, but you feel like you're performing at a similar level, and that will be part of the conversation.
Yurchenko full for Elena. That step forward was a little short, didn't get as much height as she wanted to.
So Reed, what a career high 9.775 on Friday, got things started. Meanwhile, this is Callista Gamial on the floor. We just had a performer as well go for Denver, Rosie Casali on the bars.
Very nice bar routine by Rosie. Just wanted to see her get that stick. Impressive first pass for Callista. Again, another leadoff roll for her, but she does it so well. Round up, 1.5 to double full. I love her form in that pass. She was a little short. Try to get that stick. The judges will take a slight deduction for that. But Coach Weaver just said she's so steady every day. We know what to expect from her, and that's what you want in a leadoff. She doesn't feel pressure to be perfect every time. She just goes up like she trains, and she's emotionally, physically, everything. She's the same every day. So big words for the senior. I can't believe she's already a senior.
Just puts up that number that allows Arkansas to know that they can afford a fall at some point.
And it sets up the rest of the lineup super nice. Wow, we didn't see it on air, but a very nice Yurchenko full from Upton of Texas Women's. A little bit too much energy on that last pass by Celista. Slid that front foot. Great start for the floor lineup. Again, there were a little bit juiced energy there from Calista. But competing on floor at home is one of the best feelings there are.
Kylie Rorick following up the 9.75 from Casale. Keep in mind, last year Denver finished 5th in the nation in bars. So far this year, they're 5th in the nation in bars, so this is their event.
Wow, that was a great routine. And what a stick, just straight up and down, really absorbed the landing. I loved her lines throughout. And here's that vault from Upton that we missed. Very nice Yurchenko full form throughout. The smallest little hop in place, but that was a great vault.
Indeed, she had a 9.8 in the second meet, so a big-time scorer in that apparatus for the Pioneers from Texas Women, from Denton, Texas. And again, you can go fast and furious on the vault while it takes a little bit longer for these bars and floor routines in this final rotation. But Haley Klein about to perform for Arkansas, the sophomore from Lake Forest, the Chicagoland area. She competed on the floor in every meet last year. But she had a 9.8 against Auburn. Didn't compete on the floor in Oklahoma City.
Another nice Yurchenko full from Steely on vault. And I love watching Haley on floor. She just brings this confidence and energy.
Should have mentioned, though, with Steely King, she last year in that Arkansas quad meet had a 9.85, which was a career high, competing against Arkansas.
Great first pass, front tuck through to double tuck, solid landing. Beautiful extension on those leaps. Final pass here. Front leg, front full, very clean landing. That should definitely improve from the 9.8 that we saw on Friday. Very impressive.
I believe this is Isabel going for Texas Women's.
Unfortunate fall there. It looked like she was just super crunched onto the table. Didn't get that block that she wanted to, so she landed short. Good to see her get up and run off.
Mia Hebing competing for the Pioneers, another Colorado native. In that opening meet against Michigan, she put up a 9.9 on the bar.
Huge, Ray. Very nice save, going very aggressive on these handstands. Another great handstand. Just the dismount left. Double A. Small hop, just needs to absorb that landing. Another very solid routine. I liked the fight. I liked the aggressiveness on the handstands.
Maddie Jones about to go on floor, waiting for Trinity Caffey to perform the vault from Texas Women. She's had a couple of big-time scores. 9.85, her last time out for the Virginia native after 3 years competing and performing at Lindenwood.
Maddie Jones on floor, always a treat. Front double full, E-pass, very nicely done. She was slightly off on that on Friday, so great to see back to normal.
9.75 Friday at Auburn.
Beautiful elite pass.
And Maddie's so consistent last year. How about a 9-9 or better, 12 of the 13 meets on the floor?
Nice routine, nice vault by Trinity. A lot of amplitude. Almost looked like her steps were a little off, but she somehow pulled out a great vault. Huge pack over on bars. And very nice half pirouette right on top. Maddie Jones with this final pass. Rudy, so nice. Kept that front foot planted.
Ulrich there on the bars for Denver as Maddie Jones concludes on the floor.
Here we have Caitlin on vault. She does a Yurchenko 1.5. She's the first person in Texas women's history to do this vault. It's very difficult. She struggled a little bit with it in warm-up, so I'm excited to see her hopefully put it on her feet.
She was a first-team All-American in vault last year, a national runner-up in their postseason.
She's definitely capable of a big score here. All eyes on her right now, too. Wow, much better than it was in warm-up. You saw her step over those 2 lines. Those lines are to show direction and are a deduction if you step over it, so they will take the deduction there, but I'm excited to see her put that on her feet after struggling in warm-up.
Caffey had the 9.8. And is this Mundell?
It is. Riley on bars. And her turnover on that Tkachev is unreal.
City, she's had a couple of 9.9s this year, a stuck landing right out of the gates in week 1.
Her bars is just so fun to watch. It's so clean. Has some of the biggest skills you'll see in the nation. Like you said, another stuck dismount would be huge.
Oh,
wow.
I think she got it.
That was a great routine by Riley to cap off that bar rotation. That should score very well.
Leah Smith underway on the floor for Arkansas. Her ending to this routine is really fun.
It's been so fun to watch her the past 4 years. Front layout through to double tuck, super difficult. I think she's really improved and come to on floor every year. She's always been a great floor worker. But her senior year, she just really embraced it and having fun out there.
Let it all go. Maddie Jones had the 9.9, by the way, as you can see on the stats on the right side of your screen.
Very nice late series there, much improved. That's one thing she's really trying to work on because that's where they were constantly finding deduction in last year was that late series.
Her big performance last year at 9.95 against LSU. She'll get to revisit that Friday when LSU comes to Bud Walton.
And another stick. I almost called it, but I didn't want to say anything. She's been sticking that pass all season long. Wow.
What a way to finish.
That was a great routine. They're wanting the 10.
What do you think, Sydney? What will she get?
Every time I think Leah deserves higher, I think the judges disagree with me. But
they might do it on purpose.
Yeah, definitely. They're listening secretly.
Exhibition on the bars for Denver as they've concluded their scores. That was a 9.825 for Mundell, which might feel a little bit off. Let's go back and see this last pass from Leah Smith one more time.
That double pipe, huge. If I'm being very picky, I'd love to see her point her feet a little bit more throughout.
Could you see Jordan Weaver's reaction at the end of that?
Yes, she was very excited.
shot? She was fired up.
Oh.
Waiting on that score for Leah Smith with Robertson and Price to go. Adding some suspense as we wait. Leah's not showing any nerves just yet. A 9-9.
The beginning of this floor lineup really set up these final two competitors to have huge scores here. And Jocelyn on this first pass, huge double layout. Wow, she goes out of the screen. Fought really to stay in bounds, maybe a little bit of a foot fault, but huge nonetheless.
You know, last week at Auburn, she had a 9.85, which was one of 5. I don't know how many flowers they had for the event titles and floors, but they ran out.
Split them up. They had to split
Yes,
them up.
everybody got one.
Great leaps there. Makes it a point to really hit those 180 in the middle of the leap. Just has his last pass here. Really trying to get the crowd into it. Front layout. Through to double tuck. Wow, another phenomenal routine for Arkansas and for Jocelyn. With the mic drop at the end. Much deserved. Wow.
I kind of like the mic drop.
Here we have that front layout. What we saw from Leah Smith. Wow. She just really controls it. Doesn't take too big of a step. Keeps that front foot in place. That should go big.
When you compete in all these events, you can let it all out and smile when you finish on
Yes.
the floor with a flourish. So Arkansas clearly, Sydney, having their best meet of the 3 so far this season.
Yes. And what a better place to have it than a home meet. Get those nerves underway. Like I said, there's literally no place like competing at home. Might sound cliche, but it makes all of those issues go away. So now that they're just going to have momentum and confidence going into their next meet and for the rest of the season.
And this is Frankie's event, correct?
Yes. This is where we're going to see Frankie shine.
She got a 10 from one judge last year at Kentucky, and Arkansas had some good scores. In fact, Robertson will best both Leah and Maddie with a 9.925. And in this new scoring era we're in, that feels massive.
Yeah, that is huge. And again, she's setting up Frankie so nice that if Frankie does the routine she knows how to do, this will be a big one.
Arkansas already, if they had to count these scores, would be at a 49.425 for the floor.
And Frankie really needs to dial in on this landing. Wow, that's the best landing I've seen her do, and now she just needs to go and have fun.
She's expressive, isn't she, with her facial
It's honestly
expressions?
mesmerizing. To have that much energy is also so impressive. But she doesn't need to think ahead. Still got to focus on these little details here. Beautiful lead series.
She too knows where our camera's located.
Yes. And it's hard not to dance along with her over here.
I think there's several thousand people doing just that here at Bud Walton.
Final pass, nice and normal here. Front full, front leg. a little soft if I'm, again, being harsh here. But we are at a different angle than the judges are, so we might be seeing a little bit different from them. But a great routine. Wow. That was the best first pass I've seen her do in a long time.
I think I'm going to start my day with that slow
Yes.
fist to the sky.
That was great.
This was the first.
Like I said, she really dialed this in. She's been kind of scooting her foot back, but no problems there. Absorbed that landing. Then, like I said, after that, she just needed to have fun.
So again, no Lauren Williams for the rest of the year competing on the floor with her surgery. So Arkansas has a little different lineup than maybe you anticipated at some points over the course of this year. But my goodness, how about the 9-9 from Addie Jones, a 9-9 from Leah Smith, the 9-9-2-5 from Jocelyn in her Bud Walton debut. There's Lauren, and now we wait on the score for Frankie Price. Let's check in quickly with Emerson.
Maddie, you had a big meet today, 9-9 on floor. This team is all about more this season. What more are we going to get from the Gym Backs going forward?
We have so much more to give. This is just the beginning of our season. We're getting 1% better every day, every meet, and so we're excited to see what we have more to give.
As a senior, you're stepping into a leadership role. You're incredibly involved on this campus in the SEC. How are you really embracing that leadership role this year?
This year, just embracing every single moment. I only get so many more of these, so trying to take advantage of every single opportunity in the gym and out of the gym and for this conference.
Maddie, thanks so much. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Indeed, and how about a 9-9-5 for Frankie Price?
That's super impressive, well-deserved. And it allowed Arkansas to get just to that 197 mark, which, again, we've talked about scoring all night long. It's going to be something that really propels them going forward.
Exhibition with Jalee Lang.
Very nice first pass. Just a little bit low, but she stayed right in bounds.
It's a nice mix on this Arkansas roster of veterans and some newcomers that are making their mark early in this season.
Front leg, front full, rushed it just a little bit there. But to see her perform, I know her and Frankie are super close, so obviously she looks up to her, and she's going to be the next in line to kind of hold those traditions. She's doing a great job so far.
Arkansas will get to that 197 plateau, and that's where they had been lacking in recent meets, just 196.250 at Auburn. But Sydney, last year, this 197 became the benchmark 11 times. The previous record was 5 in a season.
Yeah, it's crazy how much judging can change in a year. Our sport changes all the time, but it is great to see that they hit that 197 benchmark, to know that they're capable and still competitive within the other schools in the nation. Wow, that was a really fun routine. Has some little things to work on, but I think that's fun to get her first time out there and show that she can be in lineup eventually.
Getting those firsts out of the way, both in overall competition or here at Bud Walton in the home opener. Sydney, your final thoughts, not just on this meet for Arkansas and their consistency, but what a great way to finish with these floor scores.
Yeah, what a great way to finish. It's always a floor party with Arkansas. This just builds confidence. They'll be able to go into Friday night. It's a quick turnaround for them, so it'll be fun to see what they do on Friday. But know that, like I said, they can be competitive with the best of the best.
Hey, let's do this again on Friday.
Let's do it again. I'll see you there on Friday.
LSU will be in the house. Should be a big crowd. We'll bring it to you on SEC Network Plus. Arkansas with the 197 even after reaching that number 11 different times last year. What a home opener for the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Gym Backs as they get some final words of encouragement. So for Emerson Burris, Sydney Lemahert, and our entire crew, I'm Brett Dolan, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you 7:45 Eastern Time on SEC Network Plus. So long, good afternoon from Bud Walton Arena in Northwest Arkansas.